for women's athletes or maybe athletes in general right now?
I think you can look even broader than that. To my right, as I look at President Barb Wilson, obviously we've got leadership in our state as well, but I think it does and it always has. And those that are in the room that had the privilege to be here at the forefront of women's sports here at the University of Iowa, they know what that means. They've carried on that tradition, and it's a great responsibility. But if you are a young woman playing sports in this country and you are watching what these young women are doing, not just what Caitlin Clark and women's basketball is doing, but what field hockey is doing, this opportunity to launch women's wrestling and soccer and rowing and so many others, why not come to the University of Iowa? Because you're going to be embraced here, you're going to have incredible opportunities in competition, and we are going to support you. The community is going to support you, and it's really, again, it's all about giving them opportunities to succeed while they're here, but really prepare them for what comes next. And we've got the tradition to do that, the history to do that, and the track record. Again, to answer your question, yes, this is a destination for our young female athletes, no doubt about it.
David Eichel, HawkeyeInsider.com. Congratulations, Beth. You talk about wanting to be the forefront of NIL and trying to be creative and all about empowering the student athlete. With that being said, I mean, how tough is it going to be for you to kind of balance what's in the best interest of the student athletes versus maybe what's best for the coaches and even the athletic department? How do you kind of go about balancing all that while trying to be the leader of all of it?
That's the question right there, right? There are going to be challenging times, but what we need to do is understand what the parameters are, whether that is provided to us via a lawsuit or by the federal government or whatever entity that is through the NCAA rules. We need to know what the landscape is, and then we will put together the pieces of the puzzle to ensure that we have our priorities in the right order. There will be changes and significant changes. And that will mean that we'll need to make different decisions about where to invest. There's never been a more important time to understand where we can leverage our strengths. And we'll have to do that across the department to be sure. But when you do that in partnership with your coaches, with your athletes, you come to a more agreeable decision, but we're also a part of getting to the right place. And so even though we don't yet know what the outcome is, we talk about this almost every day. Every time we meet with our coach, we conversationalize this with our entire staff. And so we all know what's coming. We're going to spend a lot of time modeling what outcomes could be. But at the end of the day, we will adjust to what the environment is. And again, with the foundation of ensuring we're protecting their ability to get a degree, have a great experience, and also live in a world where they can modernize and have an opportunity to earn extra benefits.
Hey Beth, Janet Meister again. Can you give us an update where things stand with football's offensive coordinator hiring process, and also obviously the cost of coordinators seems to be going up across the country. You know, Phil Parker goes to 1.9 million. Is Kirk operating in your mind in terms of the constructs of his contract, in terms of what money he has available for an OC, or is there some flexibility there in what you can offer to him as an athletics department?
Yeah, I feel really good about where the process is. I know there are a lot of people anxious, certainly to hear what the final decision is and who is going to be joining that team. And I think that's all those puzzle pieces are going to come together here in short order. So I've worked very closely with Coach. Certainly we have a financial blueprint that we work through, and then from there we're evaluating each and every current staff member and also those that we may be considering for that role. We also have, as you know, have another position open as well. So it's really a big picture. We certainly recognize the escalating salaries across the country, and want to make sure that we're great stewards of our resources, and want to do our best to also support our programs and make sure we can continue to be competitive.